Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to Market Insights with Linux and welcome to this new video on Tesla. Alright, your weekly updates for now. Maybe if we get some major news over the course of this week and if we see some major stock market movements, which, you know, are definitely possible, especially in this climate. And if we're taking a look at the S&P 500, it also looks like we've had a relatively volatile opening so far. But yeah, so if we get a lot of movement and if we get a lot of activity over the course of this week, then maybe I'll do another video on Tesla. But for now, just wanted to do my weekly update here this Monday, talking about some news and some interesting things for Tesla, but most importantly for their stock. And I also wanted to do a bit of an update on the current situation for Tesla. So far, the price action has been relatively uneventful. Right, which is not a bad thing. I mean, especially given the fundamentals that are ongoing and the conflicts that are ongoing in the general markets and in the general world. Tesla is doing great. Obviously, here on the higher time frames, we had this major support level between 285 and 300. Bounced from that very, very well. A high volume bounce into that. Very, very long wick to the downsides. Did not have any major breakdowns. Like we held the trend here on the 3-day time frame. We held a 30-day rolling VWAP. We held the 0.5 FIB. You could almost argue that we're holding the 0.382 FIB, but that doesn't really matter that much. And I think this Fibonacci level in general is not necessarily needed. I mean, all the levels that are provided by the Fibonacci here are also just levels I keep my eye on in general. So very good reaction, but zooming into the daily time frame a little bit here before we talk about the lower time frames, which is very interesting as well. Tesla just looks stable, right? And at this point of time, I also do not really see any major reason why Tesla would get out of the structure that it's in right now. And the structure that it's in right now, in my opinion, is a consolidation, or at least stability, right? Whatever you want to call that, above that major support level at 300 and 290. And I don't see any fundamentals right now that could change it. There's what I read about today, which I thought was quite interesting, is the launch of those robo taxis in Austin. That could be very interesting, but that seems to be postponed a lot. I think a date I saw in passing by that they could potentially be launched is the 22nd of June. Would be very interesting. I think that's one of the, you know, if that works out, right? Because it's very dependent on if it works out and how it works, etc. But if that works out, I think that's one of the major developments for Tesla as a company that can do amazingly well, right? And that really elevates what the business is doing. It's already, it hasn't been the case that Tesla is a car manufacturer for years now, but that could really diversify and enlarge enlarge. That's not good English, but enlarge their revenue and just in general their business. So that's very exciting, but there's a lot of uncertainty about that. So for now, I would expect stability on top of $300. My main price target that I also talked about in my last video is here towards $390 and $400. I think we can get up there, but you know, going on to the short term here, it seems like Tesla is kind of capped at this minor intraday resistance level right here at 331. So that's also, you know, if we actually gain some strong momentum over the course of this week and Tesla is able to break above 335, it is, I think that's a good breakout setup actually for a long towards 355, and then potentially also to hold partials up to 365 and 375 and maybe 400. So that's definitely an opportunity, but I would say it's a little bit more likely that Tesla remains stable between that intraday resistance at 335 and the intraday support right here at 310. Maybe 300 is hit if we get some escalation fundamentally. But I expect stability here, right? And then from that stability, eventually I think we're going to break out. But I think that's more likely to be a little bit more on the longer term or medium term that we'll see that, rather than the short term. But I'll keep you updated on that. If we do see that breakout with momentum, look, I'll be back with a new video, so keep an eye out for the channel for that. Make sure to join our free Telegram channel down in the description as well. There's no strings attached. There's nothing I want to sell you. Just join that for daily updates on the stocks I trade, but also just in general the stock market. But that's it for now. So thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you on my next videos, and bye.